Mel Robbins, The Moment That Changed Everything. A full cinematic retelling with deep sensory detail. See Scene 1, the kitchen at night. The kitchen clock was the loudest thing in the room. Tick, tick, tick. Mel sat at the small wooden table, elbows resting on the edge, a half-empty glass of Cabernet at her side. The glass was streaked with fingerprints. She hadn't bothered to polish it. A faint ring of wine had dried into the wood beneath it, one of many marks on a table that had seen better days. The overhead bulb hummed faintly, giving off that faint electric smell old light fixtures carry. The glow was dim, yellow and tired, much like her. It cast a cone of light on the table, leaving the corners of the room to disappear into shadow. On the table lay a mess of envelopes. Most were unopened. The red past-due stamps seemed to lean toward her, like they were inching closer, crowding her. The refrigerator gave a low mechanical sigh, kicking on and off. Somewhere in the house, a floorboard popped from the night air cooling. Her hair, pulled up in a loose bun, had slipped down so strands hung in front of her eyes. She didn't brush them away. Her sweatshirt sleeves were pulled over her hands, and she kept rubbing her thumb against the fabric, an unconscious self-soothing. Her breathing was slow but shallow, her chest barely moving. In her gut, there was that heavy, twisting knot, the one that comes from too many problems with no visible way out. Internal monologue. You're failing. You're failing him. You're failing yourself. You said you'd send the applications today. You said you'd start tomorrow. You've been saying tomorrow for weeks. She took another sip of wine, the cool, slightly metallic tang hitting her tongue before the burn settled in her throat. She wanted quiet in her head, but the quiet that came was the wrong kind. The kind that made her aware of every creak in the house, every second slipping away. Scene 2, the rocket. She didn't even remember turning her head toward the TV. It was just there, pulling her gaze like a magnet. The screen was filled with a stark, bright white floodlit image, a rocket tall and defiant against the night. Steam curled off it in thick, lazy plumes, the hiss just audible over the TV speaker. The announcer's voice came in, low, calm, and steady, the voice of practiced precision. T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With each number, the sound deepened, a sub-bass rumble that made the glass on the table tremble slightly. At 0, the world roared. Flames tore from the base, pure orange and white, licking at the black sky. The sound was a physical thing, a deep vibration that pressed into her chest. The rocket didn't hesitate. It didn't pause. It simply went. Her eyes narrowed slightly, brow drawing in. That involuntary expression that happens when an idea lands in your mind. It's not ready. It's going anyway. The thought startled her. She sat back, blinking. Then another thought. What if I did that? What if I counted down and moved before my brain stopped me? It was absurd. It was simple. And somehow it felt like a lifeline. Scene 3. The morning test. The alarm erupted in the dark. Beep, beep, beep. Sharp and mechanical. Her eyes opened slowly. The bedroom air was cold enough to make her want to burrow deeper into the blankets. Light seeped in through the blinds in thin stripes. The voice in her head was instantly awake. It's fine. You can start later. You're tired. Stay warm. Just 5 more minutes. She felt her arm twitch toward the snooze button. Then the rocket came back to her mind. The sound, the smoke, the countdown. Her lips moved quietly but firmly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Before she could bargain with herself, her legs swung off the bed. The cold floor shocked her feet, pulling a quick breath from her chest. She stood. The boards groaned. In the mirror, her hair was still a mess, her eyes still ringed with fatigue. But there was a new tension in her jaw. Not anger, resolve. Scene 4. The ripple effect. That day, she used the countdown before making a phone call she'd been avoiding. Then again before opening another bill. Then again before sending a job application. Each time, she felt that flicker of resistance, and each time she cut it off. The 5 seconds became a bridge between hesitation and action. Scene 5. Years later. On stage, lights blazing, the crowd leaning forward, Mel tells the story. Her voice is calm now, tinged with humor. The audience laughs when she admits she got the idea from watching a rocket launch after too much wine. But when she talks about the dread in the mornings, the room goes quiet. Some people cry silently, and Mel knows none of them are really here for her. They're here because they know what it feels like to be stuck, and because they need to believe that a single, tiny act can change everything. The last $7 in my pocket. Epic immersive narrative. Fade in. EXT. City street. Late afternoon. The sky is heavy and gray, swollen with rain it hasn't decided to release yet. Street lights flicker to life early, casting long reflections on the slick asphalt. I step off the bus, the cold air biting my cheeks. In my backpack, an almost empty wallet presses against my notebook. The reminder I didn't want, but couldn't forget. Int. Small grocery store. Continuous. The automatic doors slide open with a wheeze. The warm air inside carries a blend of scents. Fresh bread, coffee brewing in the small cafe corner, and the sharp tang of floor cleaner. A tired-looking cashier at the front greets customers with the same monotone, "Hi there," that sounds more like a question. The floor glistens from a recent mop. My sneakers squeak with every step, the sound embarrassingly loud to my own ears. Camera tracking, the bread aisle. Rows of bread stretch endlessly. Artisan loaves, whole grain, rye, sourdough, bagels, brioche. All promising softness, comfort, and fullness in neatly sealed packages. I walk slowly, scanning the prices without really seeing them, until my eyes land on the one I came for. The store brand white bread. Price, $3.19. Pocket close-up. My fingers slide into my pocket. $7, folded twice. They feel soft and worn, like the skin of an old paperback. The bills are limp from too many trades. That's it. My entire wealth in this moment. Ambience behind me, a child giggles. Boy, Mom, look, they have the marshmallow cereal. His mother, with her cart already full of milk, fruit, and snacks, laughs easily and tosses it in without glancing at the price. The cereal hits the cart with a friendly thud. I feel the sound in my chest, not as joy, but as a reminder of a life I used to know. Internal monologue. Slow build. I picture my fridge. A half carton of milk, almost expired. 2 lonely eggs in a gray cardboard tray. A bottle of ketchup standing like a soldier in an otherwise empty field. I think of dinner last night. Toast. Breakfast this morning. Toast. The idea of more toast feels like a sentence, not a meal. Flashback montage. Quick cuts. Me at a cafe, sipping a $5 latte without thinking. Dropping $20 on movie tickets. Buying a jacket because I liked how it felt. Swiping my card like it was bottomless. Those days feel like they belong to someone else. Someone confident, careless, certain of tomorrow. Back to present, bread in hand. The loaf is warm from the store's heaters. It's soft under my grip, yielding to the slightest pressure, like a pillow for a life I can't quite afford. The shift. The thought lands quietly, but it's sharp. Being broke is temporary. Being broken is permanent. I can't change the number in my bank account tonight, but I can refuse to let the moment decide my worth. The choice. I place the bread into my basket. Not with shame, not with desperation, with intention. The statement isn't, I can afford this. It's, I will afford more soon. At the register, the cashier scans the loaf. The register beeps, a small, simple sound, but it feels like a victory horn in my ears. Coins clink as I hand them over, my last ones for the week. The receipt slides toward me, thin and curling at the edges. Years later, voiceover. The scene still plays in my head years later, not because of the bread, or the price, or the hunger, but because of the moment I decided that life could take my money, my comfort, my routine, but not me. $7 bought me bread that day, but it also bought me my first step back,